Hey, Eagle fans! Your Statesboro Walmart is your one-stop shop for all your Georgia Southern football and game day needs. Pick up your GSU sports gear here. We have t-shirts, hats, tote bags, koozies, stadium bleacher seats, car spirit flags, wall pennants, beads, and more right here at the best prices in town. Also, don't forget we can handle all of your tailgating needs with our great food trays, baked goods, and fresh, high-quality meat, seafood, and chicken.
Walmart. Save money. Live better. Walmart.
On this week's show, the Georgia Southern Eagles, coming off a 69-31 blowout of Georgia State on the road, come back home and hope to remain unbeaten in Sun Belt play for a rare Thursday night matchup with Troy. We'll have interviews, analysis, and more as we welcome you inside the Eagles Nest. And welcome inside the Eagles Nest. I'm your host, Josh Aubrey, being joined as always by Matt Yogus, sports editor and Georgia Southern beat writer for the Statesboro Herald. And it's not like a broken record here, but the Eagles keep on rolling right along. Maybe one of their most impressive outputs, at least offensively, as they score 69 points on the road at the Georgia Dome against Georgia State. We had mentioned this on our post-game show, but both of us kind of thought if it was close at halftime, it might be close at the end of the game. Instead, Georgia Southern puts the pedal to the metal and really pulls away from the Panthers there in the second half. I know maybe defensively there were a couple of issues, but for the most part, what an effort by Georgia Southern, and the offense unstoppable against the Panthers.
Yeah, I haven't seen a better offensive line against anybody Georgia Southern's played this year than what they've got. It's really impressive to watch. You know, we've talked about it before plenty of times, but you got 5 seniors, including Trevor McBurnett, who kind of rotates around in there. This is a group that is doing stuff that I don't think we've seen at Georgia Southern before. It might be the best offensive line they've ever had, especially when you see what they've been able to do against Georgia Tech, against NC State, against some of the better competition in the Sun Belt Conference. I mean, Georgia Southern is averaging 402 yards per game on the ground. That's ridiculous. I can't even talk. It's amazing.
The only one that I would throw in there that I've seen, the 98 line that helped open the holes for Adrian Peterson his freshman year. 99 was really good as well, but that 98-99 with Mark Williams and some of those guys, Steve Dill and some of them, was pretty impressive. But it's hard to argue with the stats that this offense has put up. And especially the scary thing is before the season with Dominic Swope being kicked off the team, and you know the running back situation looked a little shaky. It looked like one of the bigger question marks, and now you look and you've got Matt Breida for Heisman going up out there. He's got over 1,000 yards, is averaging almost 10 yards per carry, which is a little impressive and kind of unheard of.
Yeah, 12 carries for 201 yards against Georgia State. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. And a lot of it was on 2 carries. He had a 75-yard run and a 61-yard touchdown run. But, you know, it's easy to say that's an anomaly, but it's not. He does it almost every game. So, Breida, the speed, the shiftiness, he gets skinny, gets through those holes. And then, you know, of course, you got to throw in the other guys, too. L.A. Ramsby, who's a tough runner. He gets better every single game. You know, you have Ian Days. He'll be suspended on Thursday, but he's a guy who really has been competing a lot. You know, he has 5 touchdowns on the year. That number kind of jumped off the page at me because he hasn't played that much, and he's averaging a ton of yards too. So, you know, you can't take away from the talent in the running back group, but the offensive line really, you know, they're the straw that stirs the drink, as you say.
Well, I would say with L.A. Ramsby, one of the things that I've been most impressed by him is he came to Georgia Southern, you know, a lot lighter than he is right now, and more of an elusive runner who is maybe looking for people to not touch him and avoid them, where now he's running between the tackles more, and I think it's probably been something that he's kind of had to get used to.
Yeah, I think they call that McKinnoning, but he's he's taken that trajectory, and sure, he was a little bit of a shifty guy, ran the triple option as a quarterback in high school. But, you know, he's hit the weight room. He's done what he needed to do, and now he might be the best at, you know, running between the tackles and getting extra yardage after contact out of anybody on this roster.
All right, well, this week, Georgia Southern with another short turnaround. They've already played one Thursday night game, which was a pretty impressive performance against Appalachian State. This week, Troy comes into town, and typically this is a pretty good program, and they kind of fell off the face of the earth this year. They lost to Abilene Christian, which, you know, raised a lot of eyebrows to where the heck is Troy, because this team is one of the teams that kind of Georgia Southern looked at as, hey, maybe we can do what Troy did, move up and immediately have some success. They beat Mississippi State not too long ago, and now that team is in position to win a national championship. What's been going on with Troy? This is the team Georgia Southern's playing Thursday.
You know, I've read a lot of different speculation about him. Maybe Coach Larry Blakeney's just too old. He's been there for so long. Georgia Southern has had 7 head coaches since Larry Blakeney took over at Troy, so that tells you how long he's been there, 24 years. You know, maybe the players are quitting on him. Maybe the recruiting's dropped off. You know, who knows? But it's been a bad year for Troy, no doubt about that. Only 1 win this year, and Appalachian State, who's been struggling, really took it to him a couple weeks ago. So you got to expect Georgia Southern to be a huge favorite in this one for no other reason than you know what Georgia Southern scores and what Troy gives up. You know, we've seen that a lot. Georgia Southern's played some pretty bad defenses and had their way with them. So Georgia Southern a heavy favorite in this one, but Troy comes into Paulson Stadium for the first. They're going to play Georgia Southern for the first time since 1995.
They've had 2 other games. One was 95 in the playoffs when Troy was ranked number 1 and Georgia Southern went there and defeated them in the national championship playoffs. They played here a couple years before that and beat Georgia Southern, so 1-1 all time. This week they'll be taking on Georgia Southern as a member of FBS. We had a chance to talk with the players and coaches, and also have Larry Blakeney's impressions of this game as well coming up right now.
Earlier Thursday game against App State, you know, we were prepared for that game. You know, we knew what we had to do coming out here on the practice field this week. You know, we had to prepare. You know, we got a short week, so coaches cramming stuff in real good, and we're just adapting to it and just ready to play.
What do you know about Troy? What do you expect?
They're well coached, and they play assignment football. You know, they're big on defense, and they're real fast, so we're just preparing for their speed and the base defense that they run.
We know what to expect. We know how to prepare ourselves from the last time we played on Thursday. We know it's a short turnaround. Got to get rested. Got to get our minds right. Get back for action on Thursday. Troy's a real good squad. You know, they have a real good defense. You know, real good guys, good athletes on the team. I feel like they're gonna come hard. You know, and give them everything. Give us everything they got.
So getting the guys out here, a quick turnaround. Just another day to prepare. Like coming out Saturday, this victory against Georgia State. Everybody is happy, and it's a lot of enthusiasm still going on. So we got a lot of adrenaline going into this Thursday game. So
how much is the chance at winning the championship starting to kind of get to be a real thing for you guys and motivate?
As we're getting close to the championship, we just, as a team, we're taking it 1 game at a time, trying to get better each game. We try to be 1-0 every week, so that's like the main goal right now.
All right, Thursday you got Troy. What do you know about them? What do you expect?
Thursday night we have Troy. We know they're a good team. We're a good team, so another Sun Belt Conference game, so we're just ready to go out there and have a good game.
Obviously, it's not going to be new for us. You know, I'd played a lot of these games, and the big deal we try to do is Sunday we kind of just took off, and then we really do quite a bit of stuff on Monday and Tuesday and really back off on Wednesday.
Troy coming in, what do you know about them? What do you expect?
Very talented. They're going to be one of the more talented teams that we'll play this season. Athletic, run well, got good size, good length. Offensively, he's got some big power backs. We're going to have to do a great job of tackling and being tough tackling at the very beginning of the ball game. And defensively, they'll challenge you. They'll get up and press you and play a lot of man coverage.
We go into a bad place after to get a W because of these suckers over there. Maybe the best team in the league. Very well disciplined and in their offensive approach and really their defensive approach too. They don't give up much. They try to keep everything in front of them on defense. And the triple option effect of in motion and in and out of the backfield and the backs and quarterback especially is a threat. And they got plenty of firepower. They don't throw it a lot, but they normally when they throw it, they know they got you. I've been sitting in our especially our defensive room and. I think all those guys in there know a lot about the option. That doesn't mean that we are going to be able to line up and play it totally effectively. It takes players along with X's and O's, and we're a pretty beat up football team, and I don't know how many and who will make it to the game, but we're struggling a little bit. Very good football team at Georgia Southern. You know, when we first started this deal out long ago, we wanted to be like Georgia Southern. And we went to work, and we got to a point where I think we beat them once over there, and they came back over here. We should have beat them here. It didn't. And, you know, we blew it at the end of the game. We maybe got to a point where we could be considered a success story like Georgia Southern's was, but now we're back in the same league, and they are very good.
Final 2014 closeout at Franklin Toyota. All remaining 2014 Toyotas are closeout price.
Get $5,000 off or 0 APR for 72 months on new Camrys.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro and franklintoyota.com.
With more than 100 years of experience under one roof, Complete Car Care on 207 Northside Drive can do it all for your car or truck, gas or diesel, even hybrids, motors, tune-ups, front end, air conditioning, transmissions, electrical. Complete Car Care does it all. When others say no, Complete Car Care says yes. Come see what Michael and his team can do for you at Complete Car Care, 207 Northside Drive.
Well, Matt, time to put you on the spot. Kind of give us an idea of the score you think things will go there this Thursday, Georgia Southern and Troy.
Well, Georgia State, you mentioned it earlier in the show, really looked pretty good at times on offense, especially through the passing game, 400 yards through the air. You would have thought after Harden caught his third touchdown pass, maybe you start double teaming that guy, but he caught 4 touchdown passes, 168, 88, something like that yards for him through the air. It was SoCon, you know, best performance in the SoCon that week. Georgia Southern needs to stop the pass. They can stop the run. We know that. They've done it against everybody. Georgia Tech, obviously, in the first half was probably the only time they didn't look good stopping the run. But, you know, you got to stop the pass. Fortunately, Troy comes in. They don't have an offense like Georgia State. You know, Arbuckle, the Georgia State quarterback, maybe one of the best in the league, really looked good against the Eagles. So I feel like Georgia Southern might even have a chance of beating Troy worse than they beat Georgia State. When you look at the way they're clicking on all cylinders, it's a big win, but I look for another similarly scored game against Troy on a Thursday night.
Are you thinking in the 60s for Georgia Southern's offense?
I'm thinking in the 60s for Georgia Southern's offense, and less than the 30s certainly for Troy's offense.
I'll go a little bit lower. I think it's going to be in the 50s for Georgia Southern, maybe mid-20s, something like 52 to 21 for the Eagles. But I do believe we're both in unison that this game will be fairly easily a Georgia Southern victory, despite the fact that Troy had one extra day to prepare for this game than Georgia Southern since they played last Friday. Well, that'll wrap it up for now. For Matt Yogus, I'm Josh Aubrey. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again next week.